Hey everybody, it's Julie. As you can see, I cut my hair. Here's my new hairdo. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about education. One of the letters that I have received several times from people who want to be writers is they say, what should I do as far as my education? Should I go to school and major in English? Should I major in creative writing? Should I major in journalism? What kind of courses do I need to take to qualify for this, that, and the other? And first of all, I'll tell you a little bit about my experience. I did not major in English. I did not major in any kind of writing. I actually have never taken a college class of any kind in English because in high school I took AP English and I got college credits for that for getting a 5 on the exam. So I just actually didn't take a single English course in college. I majored in music, and I did that for about a year and a half before I switched to elementary education, and I graduated with an elementary education degree. Of course, I had to do some writing for those courses, and there were certain word requirements for how many words you have to write in these classes. But they really didn't come with any writing instruction, and the scoring and the grading just really wasn't particularly stringent in those courses. It was you had to write passably and understandably, but sometimes they didn't even mark you down for misspellings. So it wasn't what I would call a writing related education. Part of the reason that I didn't go into any kind of English major after deciding that music wasn't for me is that I learned while majoring in music that it's a very subjective type of field. And I think that I discovered that I liked singing as a hobby, but not so much as a possible career. And I didn't like making it work. I didn't like the way that it stopped being fun. And I was really afraid that the same thing would happen for me if I tried to major in something writing related. I think there are plenty of people who can get through school, any kind of English major or writing related major, without ending up feeling like that. It may be different for different people, of course, but for me, I was just I thought that that was too much of a risk for me, so I decided not to do it, and I got a degree in something else. I would say that my education for writing has been pretty much entirely because I'm a reader. I've learned just about everything I know about how to write from reading, and also from showing my work to other people and responding to their criticism by getting better. So that's really all I've had to do up to this point, to learn how to write in such a way that it was high enough quality, I guess, to be picked up by publishing industry professionals and to get a book published, etc. So I think that some people who might need more writing instruction, more practice, more structured environments may be able to flourish in an environment like a college education in a writing field, but that just wasn't me. And I just want to let you know that I'm also, therefore, proof that you don't have to in order to succeed. Also, some people seem to think that being able to put those degrees and those accreditations and maybe awards and whatnot on their query letters for for agents and for publishers is somehow going to help them get a shortcut. But actually, the people that I know who work in those fields say that it's surprising how many people have a degree in a writing related field who are among the worst writers. Most of the ones who have those degrees and are fantastic don't even happen to mention it. So I don't think that that's a rule, but it's awfully interesting that so many people seem to think that you have to prove that you're qualified by saying I have this degree, and it actually does not matter. It is not what they're looking for. What they're looking for is a decent pitch and good writing. That's it. So however you want to pursue that is what's going to work for you. Also, I should let you know that on the subject of careers, I I work part time in a secretarial position, and that's my day job. That's where most of my cash comes from. And I think a lot of people think, oh, I need to get into a writing related field. I need to get a writing career, even if it's not the type of writing I want to do for my dream job. I just need to get into writing. I think that thinking like that is also a mistake. It's different if that's something that you feel interested in and that's what you want to pursue. But the idea that you have to get a professional writing job of some kind in order to progress in the world is not true. Um, I think we have a hang up as a culture on needing to make money doing what you love, and the idea that maybe if you have a writing career, at least you're making money from writing somehow in journalism, or writing on a subject that you wouldn't have chosen, or taking assignments from others, not exactly your preferred subject matter, but at least you're writing. Well, that's great if you feel satisfied by that, but in my experience, doing those things professionally tends to kind of suck the desire out of you to do them in your free time as well. And because we have this obsession with wanting to make money doing the thing that we love and wanting to derive fulfillment from whatever also keeps a roof over our head, I think there's this pressure to try to become a professional writer in any way that you possibly can. But for me, getting a job that functions as a support position has been really the best thing that ever happened to my writing career, because what happens for me is that I get to go to work and I get to provide support for other people, and I don't have to invest a lot of my creativity or my time or my stress into the workplace. I get to leave work at work and come home and do what I consider to be my life's work. And furthermore, people at the office are not expecting me to derive a lot of fulfillment from being a secretary, making the coffee, making the copies, and doing a little bit of copy editing and whatnot for the engineers I work for. So that's been the best thing for me, is just having something to keep my bills paid, and then the rest of my time is mine, and I don't have to invest a whole lot of my brain space to what makes my money. In our society, we tend to think that those failing to make your money from the thing that you love the most is somehow also a failure of life. But I don't think that that's true at all. Of course, I would love it if in the future all I had to do was write and I was secure in making enough money to be able to not only pay my bills but be able to get decent health insurance and whatnot, and be able to look down the road and not be worried about making ends meet. But it's okay with me if that doesn't happen, because I'm able to do what I love now and have been mildly successful so far. So I'm hoping there's more in the future, but we'll see. The truth of the matter is, doing what you love is what life is about, and unfortunately, not all big dreams are equally likely to be lucrative. So we just have to accept that sometimes we love something that isn't necessarily all that likely to pay off. But if you leave enough room in your life to be able to chase those dreams while still remaining secure with a roof over your head and food on your table, then you're doing pretty good, and you shouldn't feel any shame about that. So, good luck to anybody who is at the beginning point of trying to prepare for getting into a writing career. And let me know if you have a question or you want to ask something specific that I didn't go over. Thanks for listening.